This is how the human heart looks like. Let me explain things one by one. First of all, if you see this side slightly darker, just to indicate the impurity of blood or deoxygenation of blood, that means the blood is mixed with carbon dioxide. That's why I have labeled the content as right side, right auricle, right ventricle. The other side is left side, having the bright red color. That means oxygenated. If this side is deoxygenated, the left side is oxygenated. Right? First of all, just understand the difference between the two sides, why one side is darker than the other, though it doesn't occur literally, but this is just to show you people that which one is the right side and which one is the left side. Now if you just draw a straight line, you can see that two chambers, upper two chambers are there. You call them right auricle and left auricle, and the lower two chambers, right ventricle and left ventricle. Right, children? I hope now you understand when we say upper chambers and lower chambers. The upper chambers are left and right auricle. Lower chambers are left and right ventricle. Right? Now what you have to see very carefully is, just see if this is right auricle. That means the entry, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, bringing the blood, this opening is inferior vena cava, bringing the deoxygenated blood into the right auricle. And on the other hand, this is pulmonary vein, which is bringing oxygenated blood into the left auricle. Alright, children. So these two are basically coming from the body, right? And this one is coming from the lungs. Okay, because left side is associated with oxygen, and oxygenation of blood is done only in lungs. Right, children? So this is the incoming blood vessel, inferior and superior vena cava in the right auricle and pulmonary vein in the left auricle. Then you go with the outgoing ones. Now the outgoing vessels, vessel number 1 and vessel number 2. One is emerging out from right ventricle, and the other one is emerging out from left ventricle. So right ventricle, the one which is emerging out from right ventricle, is pulmonary artery. This is having deoxygenated blood, so must be going to lungs for purification. And this one is aorta. Aorta is a very big artery. It divides further into subclavian and carotid artery, which goes to the head area, but that division is not literally important here. What you have to see is that it is the aorta that emerges out of left ventricle. Right? Let me clear the diagram. Once you have seen the incoming and outgoing vessels, children, what you have to see here is that this place where the aorta is emerging out from the left ventricle, few more arteries would emerge and they will cover the whole heart. From the outer side, obviously, I cannot draw it that way, but from the outer side, it will cover the whole heart. What are these? These are the coronary arteries. So coronary arteries, they emerge out at the base of aorta, right? And they will be supplying oxygenated blood to the heart itself. Now you come to the valves. First of all, the valves between auricles and ventricles, valve number 1 and valve number 2. 3 flaps should be here. So tricuspid, and the other one is, I have labeled it here, tricuspid, and the other one is mitral valve or bicuspid valve, right? Apart from these two, these are present between auricles and ventricles, but one more pair of valve is present. One is at the emergence of pulmonary artery. These are the purple shaded, and the other one is emergence of aorta. So just to control the backflow of blood, there shouldn't be the backflow of blood into the ventricles. Once the blood is thrusted, the valves will be closed. So everywhere the valves are present. If they are present between auricles and ventricles, once the blood is pushed into the ventricle, there are no chances that it will go back. Why? Because the valves will be closed. And similar is the case with the pulmonary artery and aorta. Once the blood is pushed into these arteries, they will never be thrusted back into the ventricles. Right, children? And rest of the features you already know, that the pericardium is there, internal one is endocardium, in between is this fluid. I have written PF for pericardial fluid. And important thing here is that the inner wall of ventricle, it contains, if you can see this brown shaded content, this is papillary muscles. These papillary muscles, they actually extend few specialized fibers which are known as chordae tendineae, and these fibers, they keep the valves fixed at their places. Right, children? So I believe now you understand how the heart looks and what are the structures here, which side is responsible for what kind of blood. And now I am proceeding further. Just allow me. Origin and conduction of cardiac impulse. So every time I am telling you that the heart can generate a potential difference, it can generate electric current, right? That means wherever the electric current would pass in the heart, it will bring a state of excitation, and that area will lead to contraction. The point, the place, in the location in the heart where the impulse is passing by, it will be a stimulus for that area to contract. How this stimulus is originated and conducted, children always understand that if you can see, I have written few things here. The important 4 points are important in your heart, which are actually acting as a relay race. These four are the relay points which pass on the electrical impulse from one place to another. So the origin is at sinoatrial node, and then just hold on, and then once the electrical impulse is generated at the sinoatrial node, it will be transferred to AV node, auriculoventricular node, and then from AV node it will be transferred to bundle of His, and from bundle of His to Purkinje fibers. Now you should understand that these two, SAN and AVN, these are the nodes, and bundle of His and Purkinje, these are the fibers. Right, children? This is the sequence of passing of the impulse, and always it is important to understand the location of these nodes. If you can see the location of SAN near the entry of superior vena cava in the right auricle, nothing could be a better answer than this, near the entry of superior vena cava in the right auricle. AVN, that is auriculoventricular node, it is towards the auricular septum. That means the dividing wall between the left and right septum, towards that side, somewhere near the tricuspid wall. Third one is bundle of His, inner ventricular septum, and fourth one is Purkinje fibers, outer ventricular wall. You will understand it better when you see this structure. Let me use color here. I have already marked those four nodes. This is the entry of vena cava, superior vena cava. So this area is the first structure, SAN, sinoatrial node. You can see that it is radiating out the impulse. Now this impulse will be taken up by, this is the tricuspid valve, and here somewhere behind the blood vessels would be the auricular septum. So this particular portion will be auriculoventricular node. It will be receiving the impulse so that the impulse can be evenly transferred to both the chambers. Once the impulse has covered up both the auricles, this impulse will be taken up by the inner ventricular septum. That means the inner wall of ventricular septum. And once this is covered, the impulse is further transferred towards the outer side. The purpose is to distribute the impulse evenly throughout the heart, so that the different areas at their particular time, they can contract and relax. Right, children? This is how the heartbeat is, the electrical impulse is originated at SAN. So this is known as the pacemaker, which provides space to the uh, conduction of the impulse. And this is the pacemaker, and rest are the nodes and fibers which help in evenly distributing the impulse. I hope this much is clear to you. So, if you have any queries regarding the content that we have covered up today, you can ask me anytime and I'll be happier to solve out your queries. That's all for today. Thank you.